Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to be walking you guys through some Rogue Mage 2v2. I did a video, I think about a week ago, where I walked through some Rogue Mage 2v2. We were fighting mainly priests, monks, and druids, and I said that our hardest teams, our hardest counters are against Pallies and Shaman healers, and it's very, very difficult to win against Pally teams and very, very difficult to win against Shaman teams, just because of the interruption and the hard outs they have, like Bubble and Sacrifice and Bop. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys this Rogue Mage 2's games against Pallies and Shamans and kind of what we did to beat them. So let's hop into it. In this first game here, we have Paladin Rogue. And guys, let me just put it out there. These games, even though we might be winning some of them, you're not supposed to win these, alright? So don't go into this being like, okay, if I just follow steps A, B, and C, we're going to beat Pally Rogue every time. I don't want you guys to leave with that expectation. You should lose this matchup every time if the enemy team is playing very well. However, you can steal some wins occasionally, and if you are going to win, a game like this is how it's going to look, okay? So I just want to keep you guys with realistic expectations here with exactly how a game like this should play out. Now, if we fought the best Paladin Rogue in the entire game with a series of 100, we might steal a few games, but it's not going to be like, okay, all you have to do is this, and you win against Pally Rogue, right? But anyway, Blackrock Cold Arena, Paladin, Assassination Rogue, and we're playing Fire Sub. I guess I should update you guys what I've been playing on my Fire Mage. I've been playing just kind of the old spec as far as I've been playing Greater, in Rogue Mage 2s, I've been playing Greater Pyroblast, Searing Touch, Controlled Burn, and I've just been playing it with Battlefield Focus Shoulders, Battlefield Focus Helm, and the chest piece, just my highest item level 385 chest piece. I think it was the one from the World Boss that actually just came out recently. But I think that double Battlefield Focus and whatever chest piece you want to throw on is an okay setup with Controlled Burn, just because it does proc Ignite quicker, and then every single tick of Ignite actually procs Battlefield Focus as well, so you actually get quite a bit of damage. Okay, so this opener, you might be like wondering what's going on, why aren't we opening Pally, why is this kind of a stalemate, and I'll explain what's going on. If my rogue opens the Pally, their rogue opens my rogue, and we instantly lose because we don't have a healer, and he's Assassination, and he has bleeds, so we would just lose the game. If my rogue opens Pally, we lose the game. If I start hitting Paladin, then I'm going to lose the one-on-one duel to the Paladin because I don't have any stuns and I don't have any heals. So the Pally might get me to 80% life, 70% life, and then the Rogue opens up on me, and then we're disadvantaged. So if I open Pally, we're disadvantaged. If my Rogue opens Pally, we're disadvantaged. So essentially, what that means is I'm playing back. I'm not attacking the Pally. I don't want to sheep the Pally. If I sheep the Pally, it puts him on DR. The Rogue opens me. We're at a disadvantage. So I can't sheep the Pally. I can't attack the Pally. My Rogue can't open on the Pally. We basically have to wait. And that's kind of unfortunate, right? But that's just how the metagame rolls out. And I'm scaring him back with Greater Pyroblast. Now the Rogue opens up. Perfect, right? Rogue opens up, so that means eyes are coming out in about 30. So if he didn't open, I'd get the eye and hit the Rogue, and then we'd open Rogue. But since he opened up, we can go ahead and get some double CC. Immediately, we want to get CC on the Pally with a Kidney Shot, a Blind, a Polymorph, something on the Pally, and then a ton of damage on the Rogue, and we want to force defensive cooldowns. So let's see what happens here. Cheap Shot on the Pally, Nova on the Rogue, full Sheep on the Pally, Meteor, and I don't pop Combustion. And I sometimes make the mistake of popping Combustion right here, and it is a mistake, right? If you're opening up on a Rogue with Meteor, and you have the CC on the Pally, there's no reason to pop Combustion right here. There's really no reason to pop Combustion, because if he doesn't Trinket Cloak, he's going to die anyway. If the Pally doesn't Trinket Sack, he's going to die anyway. But Cloak and Sack are both hard immunity, so Combustion doesn't actually help in any way. So you want to save Combustion in an opener similar to this, because they have those hard outs. Unless you're banking on just 100 ohming them without them using anything, but then that's not really good gameplay, right? That's just relying on luck or relying on your team, the enemy team, to just fall over. So it's really a misplay to use Combustion here, so I'm actually really glad I held it in this specific situation. Now, you can use it against Druids or Shamans or Monks a lot of the times, but if a team with hard outs like this, it's definitely not worth it. We get the Cheap Shot into the Poly, into the Sap, into the Sap, into the Blind. Pally trinkets the Blind. So in the opener, we got the Rogue Trinket Cloak and the Pally Trinket on that Blind. So this is pretty much incredible. And I guess from the enemy's point of view, the Rogue should have just Trinket Cloak vanished, and then Pally sits all the CC, and then all of a sudden, boom, Pally still has his Trinket. But now we got both of their Trinkets in the opener, sets us up at a very, very good position to actually win this game. The problem is the Pally still has Bubble, the Pally still has a Bop, the Pally still has a Sack, like, they have so many defensives that we have to rotate through. Rogue gets a re-stealth, I get Sap, my Rogue's in stealth, and Pally is running away. Now, we get a Sap onto the Rogue. This is incredible. He has 18 stack, Battlefield Focus, casting that Greater Pyroblast. I Trinket, immediately go for that Sheep onto the Paladin. Let's see if I can get it. Dragon's Breath into the full Polymorph, and don't quite have Meteor, but getting a lot of damage out, and we get Bubble Sack from the Pally. Couple things I want to highlight here. Once again, I did not Combustion. Why? Because we got our CC chain. Pally has to Bubble Sack to save the Rogue anyway, and Sack is 100% immunity, so the Combustion wouldn't actually do anything here. I want to save Combustion for our kill when maybe my Rogue doesn't have much damage, when they have no more hard outs, and it just guarantees the win for us in that game. So you might be wondering why I'm holding Combust so long in this situation. The second thing I want to point out is, and we get the cheap shot in the Dragon's Breath Sheep, which is great. But I want to show you guys how quickly my Rogue bails and how incredibly important that is for us winning this game. Bubble Sack comes out right here. Look at my Rogue. Steps to me. He steps to me and immediately runs. The enemy Rogue is still stunned. My Rogue, which is Naj, by the way, who's Naj, if he stays in, gets bleeded, no Trinket, gets Hammer Justice full, we lose the game. He dies 100-0 with Vendetta. Game's over. We lost, right? He immediately, as soon as that Bubble Sack comes out, Rogue's still stunned, steps to me and runs away. That's so important. Look at him. He's gone. He's gone. I'm now sheeping the Rogue. This is critical. If my Rogue gets stunned, he dies. We don't have a healer. He has to run. The Rogue's immune. The Pally's immune. They have no trinkets, no bubbles, no sack. We need one more go. I have combustion. This game's a wrap. We win this if we live, right? So my Rogue knows that, steps to me, runs away, goes for re-stealth. I know this. I'm going for polys on the Rogue. I can Frost Nova the Rogue. I can do anything to slow this Rogue. And then in this next setup, in 15 seconds, when the diminishing return fades, 17 seconds, I guess, we'll win the game. I can put myself out there, right? I can stand right here and cast Greater Pyroblast. I can be annoying. Guess what? I'm 100% life. I have Ice Block, I have Cauterize, I have Temp Shield, I have Flame Barrier, or Ice Barrier, whatever this spells, so Blazing Barrier. I have abilities to survive, right? Kidney Shot comes out into me, I can just Blazing Barrier, Temp Shield, and we or go for more sheeps on the Rogue. Battlefield Focus just procced on the Rogue as well. It's going to help us so much in actually getting this kill. Dragon's Breath comes out, going for the sheep. I do get Step Kick, beautiful Step Kick by the enemy Rogue there. If I got that sheep, the game would just be over right there, but we maybe throw down a Smoke Bomb instead. Smoke Bomb goes down instead, but the Rogue does get the Vanish. Reek Road onto me. If I can sheep this Paladin, this game will pretty much be over. Boom, sheep the Pally, block the CC, and now we pop Combust. Finally get the CC, and the Combust just finishes off the game, right? That was good. That was a good game. I want to point out my positioning actually real quick at the end as well. Rogue vanishes. I make my way towards the Pally. This is to dead zone the Pally. He either stays in the room, line of sights me, doesn't get sheeped, but guess what? He can't heal his Rogue, right? That's called dead zoning. If I am in between the Pally and the Rogue, the Pally has to either face me and get polyed, or run away from me and line his own teammate, and he can't heal him. So I put up myself in purpose in between them, and then since he has to come out to heal, then he gets full polymorphed. And then since we get that full poly, the game ends. So yeah, this game, guys, I mean, we're not going to win against Pally Rogue every time, certainly, but with a lot of really coordinated and like just solid plays, like you can still get the W. It's just pretty freaking difficult a lot of the times. I think it's really important to hold Combust for the go that you're actually planning to kill. Rotate through defensives. I guess like the number one tip I can give you is resetting quickly, right? Resetting instantly on hard outs like Bubble, like Sack, like Bop, like Cloak of Shadows, because you're not going to kill, right? The sooner you reset, the better chance you have to actually win the game later on, because you're going to be higher life. You're going to be able to escape clean, have your Rogue get the re-stealth, get the double stun setup, all of those things, right? If you don't reset that quick, it's just going to be a much harder game to actually win. Alright guys, and here's the game against Restoration Shaman and Fury Warrior. Now, Shamans are very difficult for us, but in our defense in this game, Warriors are a little bit easier. So a team like Shaman Warlock, or Shaman Warlock maybe wouldn't be impossible either, but maybe like Shaman or like Shaman Feral. There's some teams that are very difficult. But regardless, any Shaman team is hard. Why? Sheer, Grounding, Ghost Wolf, Link, like they just have so much to really counter mages. And right here, this opener is not optimal. I actually get Earth Grab totemed out of stealth, which is unfortunate, right? I should have gone stealth a little bit sooner, waited for the Earth Grab, and then avoided this. That's actually my mistake here in this opener. Sap comes out on the Warrior. I can start throwing out some greater pies, but he does actually go ahead and Zerk Rage that Sap, going for the Polymorph onto the healer. Looks like we get it. Throw down the Meteor, Temp Shield, rebuff Intellect since it does get purged there. Triple stuns and double sheeps here onto the Shaman. Grounding Totem goes down. Snipe that Grounding Totem real quick. Fear comes out. Blind comes out on the Shaman, and we get the Trinket. So any opener, guys, where we get double Trinket is really, 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 really good. Now, I did combust here in the opener. I don't mind it as much against a team like Shaman Warrior. Why? Because we can pop combust and then get things like double Trinket, or get things like Link or more cooldowns, because they don't have any hard outs. They don't have any immunities that make it immediately not effective, right? I'm going to get value out of my combustion. If I pop it, we're going to force defensives, reset, and then win the next go. Now the Shadowy Duel comes out onto the Shaman. Warrior's kind of staying nice and low, but he does Panda Racial me, unfortunately. I have Nova him, casting out some Scorches, trying to get a proc for this next go. 10 seconds on that Polymorph DR. I just want to survive here. I blink that Stormbolt, but he immediately leaps to me, and I block at 85% life. Now, most of the time, I'm going to wait for Cauterize to proc before I actually go into my Ice Block so that I remove the Cauterize debuff. But in this specific case, I was Storm Bolted. He leaped to me. He's big, red, and glowing, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go into the block here, preserve my life total, because they have no trinkets, and we can win this next go. Warrior's 50% life. If we interrupt the Shaman, maybe with a counterspell or a Rogue Kick into a stun, like a Kidney Shot into a Poly, get damage on the Warrior, this game's over. I'm just going to preserve my life, Ice Block, and then come out of the block and then win the game. All right, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I come out. I do want to spell steal Riptide and Earth Shield if I can. Get the Riptide, get the Earth Shield there. Dragon's Breath onto the Warrior. Kidney Shot onto the Shaman. Cheap Shot on the Warrior. Polymorph onto the Shaman. Tons of damage coming in. Smoke Bomb just to guarantee the kill and throw out a little bit more damage there with that Searing Touch, Scorch finisher. And yeah, that was a win against the Shaman team. So Shamans can be difficult. I'd say they're a little bit easier than Pallies in some ways, harder I guess in other ways. But it's going to be a fast game a lot of the times. You can combust a little bit sooner against Shamans, force the defensives, go for the reset, win in that second or third go. Just with the same kind of Kidney, Sheep, CC onto the healer, cheap shots on the DPS, and yeah, just like solid game there, showing the burst, the reset, and then securing the kill. Alright guys, Ruins of Lordaeron, another Holy Pally team. This is so difficult for us. Just to kill through all of the defensive cooldowns. This team has Fade, they have Dispersion, they have Life Swap, they have Bubble, they have Sack, they have Trinket, they have Bops. Like there's so many defensives for us to go through. I guess the redeeming quality is that it's harder for a Shadow Priest to kill us than something like a BM Hunter or a Survival Hunter or a Feral Druid, because they just do so much passive damage with the bleeds or the pet that we can kind of die. So they have a lot of defensives, but it's going to take them a little bit longer to kill us because Shadow Priest has to build up the damage with his dots and stuff. It's not just like instant damage that just kills us, right? A little bit slower damage coming in from that Shadow Priest. So we're casting a Greater Pyroblast. And guys, this, I guess I haven't mentioned this in this video. This is the opener that we do almost every time. We sap the guy we want to open, right? I guess we didn't do it against the Warrior because he's Zerk Rage, and we didn't do it against the Rogue because he's in Stealth. But against a lot of teams, we'll sap the guy we want to open. We'll throw the Greater Pyroblast into the sap. And then since it takes so long to get there, we can either cast a second Sheep Pie or get some more damage off. And then we kidney the healer into a Polymorph. So that's kind of the opener that we want to go for. That means the sap comes out, the Greater Pyroblast lands, the Kidney Shot comes onto the healer, and then we full Polymorph off that. It's just a perfect opener, right? Because we get the CC, we get the big burst. I can even save Combustion. So this is another game where I'm really glad I saved this Combustion, right? If I would have combusted here, it just goes into Dispersion. He has to disperse anyway, right? Or if the Pally Trinket sacks, then it just goes into the sack. It's just a big waste. I mean, it doesn't mean you never want a Combustion, but it means you can definitely hold it for a go where you don't get a Greater Pyro, or you don't have such a clean go, or you want to force more cooldown, something like that. But in that specific case, we were going to get it anyways. There's no reason to really, use it there. Hammer of Justice comes down to me. Shadow Word Pain, a little bit more damage. My Rogue's in a little bit of trouble. He does duel that Paladin. Now is when I pop the Combustion, trying to get a lot of damage out with the Shadowy Duel comes out in the Pally, the Blind comes out, the Trinket comes out, and then he gets kidneyed, Swap comes out, and the Pally bubbles. Sheep the Priest immediately goes over, right? That was actually a lot that happened right there, so I'll actually just go ahead and rewind. The reason I popped a late combust right here is because the Pally got dueled and the Priest is 35% life, and Pally, our Priest can't swap anything because the Pally's in a duel with the Rogue, right? Shadowy duel. So I was like, okay, maybe we just kill, right? He has 14 stacks, Battlefield Focus. I have double Fire Blast, about to be a third Fire Blast, and I have Combustion and Unused Trinket. I'm casting a Scorch right now. We can just kill this guy. He did a good job line of sighting and healing to keep himself alive, but we almost did win the game. So immediately out of this, the Pally gets blinded right here. Pally gets blinded. He trinkets. Pally goes into the kidney. Priest swaps, which he pretty much had to. Right here, Priest swaps. He did have to. And now we can swap to the Pally and kill him. But Pally bubbles to counteract that. So a lot of defensives happening very, very quick right there. We notice exactly what's going on. Goes over. Priest is 90% life. Pally bubbles. We got the trinket, the bubble, the swap, the dispersion. Guess what? Pop quiz. What do? We reset, right? We reset. We run away. Sheep the Priest. Run to the room. Sheep the Priest on the Dispel. Run to the room more. Spell Steal the Shield. Reblazing Barrier. Sheep the Priest again. Waiting for the Diminishing Return. Casting the Greater Pyroblast. Keep up the pressure. Silence comes out. Could throw an Ice Block out right here. Or we could just Temp Shield, wait till that Cauterized procs. Doesn't really matter too much. Going for that Dragon's Breath onto the Priest. Does break immediately the Battlefield Focus. One of the downsides. Sheep Truck comes out of the Pally. Sacrifice to counter it. Beautiful sack there by the enemy Paladin. And since he did sack, now we kind of have to reset for this next go. Cauterize comes out. Ice Block to remove the debuff. Massive Spell. Blink to the room. And now we're kind of hanging out, right? We need to wait 10 seconds, 11 seconds for this Diminishing Return to fade. Once the DR fades, get the full CC. Should be able to win the game, right? They have no dispersion, no swap, no trinkets, no bubbles, no sacks, no anything. All we have to do, sheep the Pally, kill the Priest, with a Greater Pyro or a Meteor, Triple Fire Blast, and should be game, right? Finishing him off with Searing Touches, Searing Touch Scorch rather. Ring of Frost myself in the room. Very critical that I survive right here. Have no Ice Block, have no Cauterize. Priest comes in, does get Ring of Frost, Spell Steal the Shield, Will the Fear, double Dragon's Breath coming out. Cast the full Polymorph and start casting the Pie on the Priest before the Kidney lands. Kidney lands, free Sheep. I have so much damage. Greater Pyroblast lands, getting another Sheep onto the healer. Finishing off a Searing Touch, Fire Blast, and that's going to be a ball game. So that's pretty much how it works. Even this game, very close, very, very close, 25% life. I have no Cauterize, no Ice Block, no healer, right? That's why I'm even running away at this point in time, because the game's not over, right? At any point, I can just fall over and die. So I'm going for the eats in the room, making sure I don't leave my Rogue to 1v1 this Paladin, because that's never fun. Just Dragon's Breath, probably go for a Sheep here on the Pally, then we should be able to reset and win the game, or just cast the Greater Pyroblast and finish him off. I think at this point he's pretty much a cheat sheet. But yeah, I mean, these games, guys, are definitely not easy. I don't wanna debate you guys and tell you it's gonna be like, oh yeah, you should beat this every time if you just do this, this, and this. These games are hard. A lot of the times we will actually lose games like this, but if you are gonna win, this is how the game is generally going to look. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. These games are definitely very, very difficult, fighting Paladins and Shamans and 2s. But I think we still did an okay job, and I kind of want to walk you through, if you're going to win, generally how the games are going to break down. Battlefield Focus, guys, that's what I'm running with Fire right now, at least in 2v2. I think in 3s, the Flames of Alacrity build, like I covered in another video, is still very, very good with Flame Cannon and Fire Starter, or the Battlefield Focus build if you want to do more of like a Searing Touch, Controlled Burn, Greater Pyroblast kind of bursty build. So those are kind of the two things I'm playing with Fire right now. I've still been playing a ton of my Shadow Priest, really been enjoying that. Let me know what you guys want to see down below in the comments. Thumbs video up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.